Hello, my name is Angela Gartner, editor at Northeast Ohio Parent Magazine, and we are talking about water safety. In May is National Water Safety Month, and according to a study from the Academy of Pediatrics, for drowning victims younger than 15 years old, 70% is reported May through August. Also, the highest rate of drowning occurred in ages 0 to 4, with ages 12 to 36 months being at the highest risk. We are here with Vincent O'Leary from Goldfish Swim School. Goldfish Swim Schools has schools all around Greater Cleveland area and also Akron areas. So hi, Vince, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, nice to see you. And we are here. We wanted to talk to you a little bit about water safety. So first, tell us a little bit how important water safety is to teach kids.
Yeah, so water safety is, in my opinion, the most important thing that we can teach to kids. We start at 4 months and we go up to 12 years old. So we can start nice and young and grow them all the way through, programs so they can learn all those safety skills. We see kids when they start nice and young, they learn that muscle memory and it becomes so important for them later on. That way, if they're ever in a troubling situation, no matter where they end up, they're nice and safe and they have that memory. It was the most important thing in my opinion.
So is that the average age of when kids start to swim?
Yeah. So, when they are younger, we start at our parent-child classes where the parents get in the water with them. They go through the motions. So the parents also learn the skills with those kids. And we can progress, all the way through building up that endurance and making them strong swimmers at a young age.
Well, why is it so important to teach kids how to swim at a young age?
So with kids and drowning being one of the leading causes of death for children, it is preventable. The more we can teach them, the more we can practice it, the safer they're going to be. Our curriculum that we use here at Goldfish becomes it's repetition. So kids are learning those same skills and it really becomes that muscle memory, keeping them safe no matter where they end up, whether it's a pool, lake, on a boat, anywhere, especially with summer quickly approaching. It's good to keep them nice and safe.
Well, what kind of skills should parents be looking for kids to learn in swimming?
So some of the most important skills that we focus on would be our back floats. So we do skills where they're practicing floating on their back. So if they ever get tired, they can roll over and take a breath. Or if they fall into a pool or a lake, they can roll over and they can float there until they get assistance. We also work on other skills like how to jump in, turn around to where they came from, because most kids will tend to continue swimming forward. So we can get them to turn around, grab onto that wall and climb out to safety. Those are some really, really important skills that we can work on.
Well, how important is it for the parents to be involved and be aware of what their kids are learning and how they're kind of being aware of how developmentally ready they are for swimming lessons?
Yeah, so with the parents involved, they can see them progress all the way through that program. The parents can also pick up on that skill. So when they are at the pool or at the lake, they can practice those skills with those kids. So the parents know what they're working on, how they can be safe. It also helps with our lower level classes. A lot of the parents are in there, so it helps with skin to skin contact and the parents bonding with them, and then they can both learn together.
Well, what are some general water safety tips when kids are around pools and then also natural bodies of water?
So anytime you're around water, whether it's anywhere from a bathtub to a pool to a lake, anything like that, we want to make sure there's always a designated water watcher. Someone is always keeping an eye on the pool, in addition to a lifeguard. So even if the parents are there, making sure we're watching those kids swim, making sure they're staying safe and following those rules. We know when kids start to play, they get excited. They like to have fun and maybe they're not thinking about those safety skills. So making sure those parents are present to help them stay nice and safe and always keep an eye on them.
So what happens if a child does fall into the pool?
So if a child falls into the pool without training, usually they would swim forward, so not to the closest point where they can get out. What we really want to teach them is to either roll over and take a breath or turn around and swim back where they came from so they can grab onto like the edge of the pool or the dock or the boat, whatever is closest to them so they can get out of the water and, out of harm's way.
And that's why it's so important that parents are making sure that kids are getting lessons or, some kind of lessons to teach other kids about swimming safely and also around the pool safety, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Water is everywhere, especially, in Ohio with the summer coming up, everybody goes to the lake or the pool or anywhere. You never know where you're going to be. So practicing with those kids early on is a huge help.
And I know a lot of parents, go ahead and might use some flotation devices, floaties on the arms. Can you talk a little bit about those? What's safe to use for your child and what shouldn't you use?
Yeah, so for flotation devices, we want to make sure we're using life jackets that are Coast Guard approved. So all life jackets that are Coast Guard approved will have a little symbol on them and will say Coast Guard approved. Those means they've gone through lots of testing to make sure no matter what situation they're in, if they're properly fitted, the kids are going to be nice and safe. We want to avoid stuff like water wings or puddle jumpers. They can deflate, and then they can also give kids a false sense. And then if they're in a certain situation where their head may go down or they may get inverted, it may not correct that body position. So anything that is Coast Guard approved is good to help that body position and keep them nice and safe.
Well, how often should parents really be talking to their kids about water safety?
I would say all the time, practice lessons before the summer gets here. So the more practice they get, the safer they're going to be. And then also before you go swimming, making sure those kids understand the rules of wherever you are to, not go near the water without a parent and not to get into the pool without a lifeguard or, not going off to that lake by themselves.
Well, I know Goldfish is all around the area. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so we are in the Cleveland area. There's our two Cleveland locations, Cleveland Fairview Park and Cleveland East Side. Right now, we're also in Strongsville, Hudson, and then in North Canton. So all of us, we all start at 4 months. We go to that 12 years old, and our main focus is water safety and swim lessons. So that's just about all we do to make sure those kids are staying nice and safe.
Well, and how can somebody find you guys?
So to find us, we're on Facebook and Instagram. You can search for Goldfish Swim School. You can also go online to our website, goldfishswimschool.com, and then find a location that's closest to you from there.
And lastly, is there anything that we haven't covered that you want to make sure parents know about water safety?
Yeah, the big message I just want to drive home is making sure you're watching your kids and practicing those swim lessons. Those two things will help your kids stay very, very safe. So practice early on before summer, especially with like Memorial Day coming up. Now is a great time to start to make sure we're safe for that holiday weekend and as we go into the summer. And then making sure no kid is ever unaccompanied. We're always keeping an eye on them anytime they're close to any kind of body of water.
Well, great. Well, thank you so much, Vincent. And you can learn more information on northeastohioparent.com.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you.